Hi, Tru Wonder team. It's our age 5 through 2nd grade rooms here with your lesson rundown for February 8th and 9th. We are teaching about when Elijah fled to the mountain of God, to Mount Sinai or Mount Horeb as it's called in 1 Kings. So the lesson points to 1 Kings chapter 19 verses 1 through 18, but you actually might want to back it up just a little bit to chapter 18, starting at verse 20, going all the way through the end of chapter 18, because in there it talks about how Elijah and all of the prophets of Baal gathered at the top of the mountain to try to prove who was really the true God. And, the prophets of Baal kept calling and calling and calling and worshiping and waiting for Baal to just bring their altar, set it on fire, and nothing ever happened. And Elijah, he builds his altar to God and he puts a sacrifice upon it, and they actually soak it with water, which was hard because it hadn't rained for years. So they soak it with water, and as soon as he prays, God, in just huge, mighty display of power, sets everything on fire, not just the sacrifice, but the entire altar is consumed, the stones, and all of the water that had been poured around it. Just poof, gone in flames. So then, we might not want to share this part, but Elijah then gets rid of all of those prophets in a not so gentle way, but that upsets Jezebel, and that is why Elijah is on the run. And so he's feeling very threatened, he's feeling attacked, somebody has said they've put a death threat out on him, and he's running for his life. So he runs to the Mount of God, where he feels safe. And there God meets him. And there's the display of the mighty wind and the earthquake, but it is in the whisper that Elijah knows God is with him. He covers his face and he goes out. And the Lord says that he will protect him and gives him instructions to move forward and all of that. So that is our lesson this weekend. So as we move through the curriculum information, we're going to be talking about, just where's a safe place? Where can you meet with God? So we'll have some butcher paper out where they can write down, like, I invite God here, or I can meet with him there. They could draw pictures of it, write down places. We'll have some tent making supplies as well, so they can build a fort and they can go in and sit with God as well. Our verse again this month is 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 1. Follow my example as I follow the example of Christ. And our what's it? What would we use to hear the small, low whisper of God, but our ears? So we'll have a fake ear in the wardrobes. And then, like I said, I already went through our lesson. The video option is no longer a separate PowerPoint, but it is actually embedded within the storytelling PowerPoint. It's just way at the end, at the bottom. So it just would mean we have to hide all of the storyteller slides and unhide the video slides. So if that's something that you need, then you just need to let me know ahead of time, because it actually would be like 2 to 3 minutes of clicking and configuring. Not a big deal. It's just no longer an easy swap over to the other version. All right, so it's there. It's just hidden. And then we do have, there's a large game they can play where you can use one certain area of the room to be like your safe place, and then the kids all have to go and gather over there, almost like a musical chairs, or if you're ever at the roller rink and they called out the corners, that kind of a thing. And then our craft is we're just making a picture that says God is my safe place. And again, I just encourage you in that time, the point is not the product that they leave with. Yes, that is supposed to be a way to engage the parents then in conversation on the way home. Hey, tell me more about this. How, why, what does this mean? And for the kids to then remember their lesson. but it's not about what they're making. I would love to have you focusing on the conversations around the table, to really start to develop those relationships, because you are representing God to them. You are a safe place where they can talk about things, where they can get to know you, where you can get to know them, where they can feel seen and heard. So ask questions in that time as they're coloring. Hey, what are some things that have scared you and you needed to run to God to feel safe? And how did you do that? Or just be asking questions of them. It's a wonderful way. Kids love to talk. Let's be honest. At 5 to 7, they are still talking to us. That's good. Let's just really give them the space to do that. All right, so that is our lesson. I just pray that you too would know that God is your safe place, that He is your strength and your comfort. May He bring you peace this week. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, I'll see you this weekend. Bye.